Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is, of course, Be with the B Code. And as usual, I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers and those who watch my videos. So, I want to first start off by saying, um, well, not saying, but I want to give a little insight to what my channel is about. I don't stick to a certain topic on my channel because I like to discuss and bring to the people's attention or my subscribers' attention various things that go on in Black society. So, as you can pretty much tell by a lot of my videos, I really stick to discussing Black topics and Black issues. So, you'll notice that when I do my videos, I'm pretty much either responding to something that I've heard or seen, or I'm trying to enlighten my subscribers. And then sometimes I just want to discuss some of the same issues that are being discussed on YouTube so that the people that watch my videos can see and hear things from my perspective. Another thing is that I don't uh, take donations. I don't. Um, I don't do this YouTube thing for money. I feel as if the people that watch my videos, I feel like they can take their little extra money and spend it on themselves, save it, or spend it on their kids. But my channel does not require payment. Um, I know a lot of people have a lot of YouTubers, they've made a business out of doing YouTube. And that's wonderful. That's perfect to me. That is just entrepreneurship at its finest, right? Because hey, let's face it, people need money, they need extra money, and YouTube is a good source to make that money, right? I think YouTube has saved a lot of people. So, anyway, that's just a little bit about my channel. Another thing I wanted to say is that a lot of times I'm not nice on here, but I like to express myself the way it comes out. I'm not a fake ass person, I'm not a hater. Um, and some of the things that are put on YouTube regarding the Black community distresses me. So I like to talk about it. I like to get my opinion off my chest. And the number one thing is that if you can't take it, don't dish it out. Right? So if anybody feels free, they have a problem with what I'm saying, they have issues with the way I talk, you can always put your comments down in the comment box. You can always challenge me to a debate. I mean, come with it. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I'm not is scared. Anyway, I was on Facebook, which I usually am on a daily basis. I'm, surfing and looking for topics that I can discuss and that interest me, and so that I can give my opinion on them. So I was on YouTube Shorts, and I don't really know this gentleman, but his name is Wallow. So he was speaking in terms of dope dealers in the hood and how they're looked upon by the people in the Black community. And when I saw this little short, I said, let me give my opinion, because what he said pretty much stood out to me. And I do notice that a lot of people do praise the D boy. And he had mentioned how even the older women in the hood are, mesmerized by the dope dealers, right? So I just wanted to explain why this is. And as you can see by my title, they used to be the bad bitches. This is why they still praise the D boy and not the educated. So, anyway, I'm going to share my screen and then I'm going to play the short. So, I have to do it on my phone because I just noticed yesterday that it screeches when I play it from the computer. So I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to hit play on the computer as well as on my phone so that we can hear the short. Hold on. Let me mute myself so I can get it together. Okay, I'm just waiting for this to load. Um, I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't pull it up on my phone. I dropped my phone in some water. So that's not a good look for me. I don't know why. It's not playing from my phone, but water, you can expect for it to work. So anyway, pause that. Okay, yeah. Everybody in Mama Zone, everybody in Mama Zone is on the internet. So um let's get it together. So it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna take a minute because of the simple fact that YouTube is slow, everything is running behind, but let's see, soda. Okay, let's do that. All right, so here we go. A lot of times I notice that um, people tend to forget that older people used to be young, like, you know, and people did have past lives and people did do things in their younger years. And just because they're older doesn't mean I'm just going to let this play until you can't hear it. But they forget that older people were younger too, and they had lives. And just because they're older, just because you get older, you don't get a certain amount of prestige. You don't. Sometimes people don't take on a different persona, or sometimes they don't even grow, mentally. They just really change physically. Um, so when you're speaking in terms of having education, when you're speaking in terms of how you view the world, and what you are still down with, as we would say in the hood, what you're still down with, a lot of people pretty much don't change. If you were born in a hood, raised in a hood, never left the hood, never got any type of education, your mentality is basically going to be the same. So just because you might see Miss Jones or Miss whoever, it doesn't mean that just because they're older, they've all of a sudden changed. No, that's not it, not at all. So you have to be careful when you see older people. You can't just assume that just because they're older, oh, they're wiser, which they are wiser, but it doesn't mean that the things that they were into, they're no longer into. Sometimes it just means that they're too old to indulge. So when you um, when you see older people in the hood still praising the stuff that goes on in the hood, it means that they're still up the hood, but they're just older. So anyway, I'm trying to sync this together so that it plays right. Um, okay, so here we go. Let me make sure this is loud enough. And of course it wasn't. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna play it. And then I'm looking at my neighborhood with a drug dealer pull up. He pull up in the car. He got the Benz. There's music blasting. It's the '80s. He got all the jewelry on. He coming to get the baddest woman, the sexiest, most beautifulest woman in the neighborhood jumping in his car. But then guess what? You know what else happened? When she jumping in his car, Miss Brown, Miss Smith, all of them is looking at that man with admiration and respect. They ain't looking at me. Only time they talk to me is when they need me to go give them a pack of cigarettes from the store. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this whole movie take place in the ghetto of, oh shit, if I'm black and I'm young and I'm a black man in America, I'm not going to be respected in my community unless I'm a fucking criminal and I can succeed at being a criminal and I put some jewelry on my neck and I put some designer clothes on and I put all the bitches in my neighborhood. If I'm not that, I lose. I'm nobody. I'm corny. And don't nobody want to be corny in the ghetto. The worst thing is to be corny. Well, okay, and so as you can see by my thumbnail, you have to understand that when you're in the hood, we know as people what goes on in the hood. We know what goes on in the hood as people. and there's not a whole lot of good things going on. Pretty much the only good thing that we know that's going on in the hood is that our children are going to school and getting their education. Otherwise, everything else that's going on in the hood, it's nothing to be proud of, right? It's nothing to be proud of. To me, unless it's dealing with education, right? Your child is graduating from elementary school, middle school, high school, then they go off to college, then they go on to do career, then they move out the hood. That's the pretty much the only thing, good thing that's going on in the hood. Otherwise, you're going to have dope dealing, you're going to have prostitution, you're going to have domestic violence, you're going to have gang violence, you're going to have all these other things that are going on in the hood. So when you see that D boy, and he's the one that's flourishing, he's the one that's making his money off the hood, because mind you, they're not going out to the white neighborhoods and selling crack and all these drugs that they sell. No, they're selling it to the people in the hood. So they are making their money off the hood and able to buy these fancy cars and these fancy clothes and look good. And of course, you got Miss Brown, Miss Lois, and Miss Smith praising him because they used to be the baddest bitches in the hood. They're just old now, right? They had to sit down because they're old. So these women, they haven't gotten their education. They haven't grown mentally. They don't praise education because they're ex D boy girls, right? So when you're looking at these men in the hood doing what they have to do to survive, or doing what they want to do to survive, because mind you, you can be anything you want to be if you set your mind to it. It's just that some people prefer to be D boys, and hey, if that's what you want to be, by all means, that's what you want to be. But in terms of being praised for it, the only people that you will see praising that are people who used to be a part of the hood. Whether you were the D boy or whether you were the D boy's girlfriend, wife, kids, whatever. Um, a lot of people see success differently. So some people see success as having a lot of money. Some people see success as having a good education. Some people see success as having a lot of materialistic, expensive things. And some people see success as having a successful career. Some people see success as having a successful marriage, a successful family, successful kids. I mean, you can put success in so many different areas. It's just a matter of what environment are you in and what is being praised in that environment. So if you're in a hood, of course, hood shit is going to be praised, right? You're going to have the strippers are going to be praised, the D boys are going to be praised, the baddest gang member in the hood is going to be praised. The prettiest, baddest bitches in the hood, they're going to be praised. You praising hood shit, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your environment, that's your environment. Then if you take it to the nicer areas of wherever you live, education is praised. Oh, so and so has her so and such, and her son is doing so and such, and he owns his own business and is very successful. So you have praise in different areas of life and different areas in the state that you live in. It's just all a matter of what you want. So when you see that D boy being praised by the ex D boy girlfriends, what do you want for yourself in your life? Do you want to be that D boy that has to watch his back 24 hours a day because he doesn't want to get caught up with dope and end up in jail? Right? What do you want to be in life? There are men that go off to get their PhD and they get the baddest bitch in the business that they're in, or in the neighborhood that they live in. I mean, that's just a man's nature. When he gets successful, he wants to have a woman that looks the part, that the baddest bitch in the industry. So if you take Jay-Z and Beyonce, for example, Jay-Z reached a certain level of success, and what did he do? He went and got the baddest bitch in the industry. So if you look at the rap level, the rapper level, um, look at Biggie. Biggie at at the time Biggie was doing what he was doing, Faith was considered the baddest bitch in the R&B industry, right? Um, Snoop Dogg already had his sweetheart. He already had his baddest bitch, right? What did Dr. Dre do? He went and he got his baddest bitch. That's what men do. But it's all about what you want for your own success in your life. So you can see D boys being praised, but there's also a dark side of that. And the dark side is he has to watch his back from the police and from other people that want to rob him and take his success, right? So when you decide what you want to be in life, and when you feel as if, oh, if I'm the D boy and Miss Lois and Miss Brown are praising the D boy, and I want to get my education and they're not praising me, you always have to look at the type of women they used to be. Right? Because, like I said, just because a woman is in her 50s and 60s and she's a grandma and she's at home and she's in the hood, it does not mean that she didn't used to be a bad bitch in her time who was down with the shit, right? So whenever you have people praising you or praising people for their success, you have to look at who they used to be when they were younger, right? So if you take there's and here's the thing with that too. Since you're in the hood, and since hood shit is going on, and since hood shit is praised, the men and women that get their education and start a career, they're not staying in the hood. So this is why you don't see that educated, career, successful image praised in the hood, because they already know this is not what the hood praises. So I'm gonna get my shit and I'm gonna get the fuck out. I'm gonna bounce where I am going to be praised. Right? So they call it what? The educated lane. It's like there's nothing wrong with having your education. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out of the hood, to get out of the hood shit because you don't want to end up in prison, right? A lot of people want to be educated. They want to uh, sleep well at night. They want to have a successful and peaceful life. So a lot of the D boys, they're successful, but they don't have peaceful lives. They're up all night sometimes. They're watching their back. They got to carry illegal guns. Their trunk is full of dope. It's all kind of shit going on. They getting chased by the other neighborhood dope dealers. They getting chased by the haters. They getting chased by the niggas that want to rob them. All kind of shit is going on. So they may have a lot of money and they may be successful in the hood, but they have no peace at all whatsoever. Okay, so I get what Wallow is saying, but you got to get out the hood, right? If you want to be praised for different types of success in your life, you have to go to where they're praising that type of success. So I'll give another example. So if you are a beautiful woman in the hood and there are other beautiful women in the hood and you're in school to get your education, but the other bad bitches are in the strip club stripping, those hood dudes are not going to praise you. They're going to praise the bad bitches that's in the club stripping because you're in the hood and ain't nothing in the hood going on but hood shit. So that girl that's in school for her education, she's going to have to stay to herself until she finishes her education, starts her career, and then she moves out of the hood because she knows this is not what's being praised. She's going to be ridiculed by the strippers and the D boys girlfriends. Girl, you want to get your education? I don't know why you're doing that, girl. My dude is so and such and such, or I'm in a strip club and this is how much money I make. I can make this in 2 hours, or I can make this in one night. But okay, that's fine. That's all good for you if you intend on staying in the hood around a bunch of hood shit, right? But for me, as a woman that's getting my education, I want some peace in my life. I don't want to keep going around with the hood shit. So there's nothing wrong with people aspiring to rise above hood shit, right? If you like being a hood, fine, stay in that motherfucker. Do what you do, right? But then another thing is that you can be in the hood, but you don't have to be of the hood. You can live in the hood, but you don't have to be doing hood shit. And the only people that can do that are people that live in confidence, people that know uh, how to structure their environment to where they have peace, right? They don't give a fuck what Miss Lois and Miss Brown and Miss Smith is praising, right? Because if they grew up in the hood and their parents grew up in the hood, they already know that Miss Brown and Miss Lois and Miss Smith used to be some hoes or something. You know what I'm saying? Or they used to be some strippers, or they used to be, D boys' girlfriends. So really, an educated person don't give a fuck about Miss Lois and Miss Brown's and Miss Smith's opinion because they some ex hood bitches still in the hood doing nothing, right? So I just wanted to, that video pretty much, this short pretty much stuck out to me. And I just wanted to give my commentary on it because um, you don't have to feel bad about other people praising bad, right? You have to have self confidence. You have to know what you want out of life. You have to know who you want to be when you grow up and what you want to do when you grow up. And you can't base that all the time on what other people are praising. So if you want your education and you want to be praised for getting your education, uh, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, you might get that from hood people. They might say, "Oh, you're doing a wonderful job in school, and no, you're so smart," but they're also praising the people in the hood. So I don't know. You just have to, like I said, have that self confidence, know what you want, know how you're gonna get it, and go get it. And do you. So anyway, I got some things to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I just wanted to give my commentary on this because a lot of that stuff, um, a lot of the praising of the hood shit does go on, but you have to remember that older people used to be younger too, and they had lives and they did what they did, so they're praising um, certain aspects of what's going on in the hood according to who they used to be. And sometimes who they used to be hasn't changed, just their outward appearance.